Don't worry, no spoilers. Now, you may or may not have heard about what I'm going to be talking about. It was kind of in the shadow of Jujutsu Kaisen, in my opinion, when it came out, but I saw it regardless, and here we are. Burn the Witch is, so far, a one-shot manga by the creator of Bleach, Kubo Taito. It got adapted into an anime movie, and it was uploaded onto Crunchyroll in 3 parts. Disclaimer, I didn't read the manga, I just watched the anime, okay? And, I'm gonna be honest, right from the beginning, I didn't think too much of it. Like, I will say that the aesthetic and idea of the world is extremely interesting. Obviously, the character designs, it's Kubo. They're really good, but the show is just so average. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with average shows. Like, I found a lot that I actually really, really enjoy, despite the fact that I know it is average, or even some of them below average. But Burn the Witch was something that was just that. It was just so straight shot, and it didn't feel like anything, and it didn't do anything. It was set up like it was going to be a small part of a bigger story, when it really should have rounded itself off more, as it was, presented as a movie. Of course, if Burn the Witch becomes a series, maybe that complaint isn't justified. We'll have to see. But I'm just saying, the majority of anime series movies do have a clear beginning and ending. The whole movie just felt like the first 3 episodes of an anime, and it didn't help that Crunchyroll had split it up into 3 separate episodes, and then it just stopped. Can I also talk about how just random ideas just got introduced one after another? There's little to no explanation as to anything, as to why anything happened. Like, the idea of the dragon guy, the dragon-clad guy, was just kind of thrust at us. The group that they're a part of, that they work for, was never explained, not even once. There were just too many questions that I had to enjoy what was happening on screen. Alright, time to explain the show very briefly. It starts off pretty damn strong, if I'm being honest. The first words, fairy tales are bullshit, made me think about Fairy Tail and how it is bullshit. And then we find out that this girl, Nini, she's like the main character. She's some sort of idol, and then she walks down the street and she uses a coin, and she jumps into a portal, and then she's gone, and the reporters are like, "Oh, where'd she go?" And then we find out, the main premise is that there are 2 sides to London. You got the normal side, the side that, we would be familiar with, and the other side is reverse London, where magic is normal, and there's a bunch of dragons, and they plague the reverse city, and the dragons are actually the cause of, what did it say, 72% of all deaths in London, both reverse and front London. Like, Jesus Christ. And yeah, so basically the people on the reverse London have to defend London from the dragons so that reverse and front London can live normally. And so we find out that after that, Nini, and she's got a friend named Noelle. They're actually witches, and they're, well, more specifically, they're pipers, and they're the one, they help fight against the dragons. They help defend against the dragons. And like the majority of other characters, as I mentioned earlier, the character designs are really good. Like, these characters look very, very good. They look really good. And then we get introduced to Balgo and Osushi, as well as Funny Old Man, who's their leader. Balgo is what is known as a dragonclad, and this was kind of thrust at us. As I said, it was just kind of a fact that we were supposed to, accept. We don't really know why, except the fact that he's been around dragons for a while. Because, then it's talking about how, like, ordinary citizens, you can't have contact with dragons at all, because it's punishable by death. So yeah, Balgo's pretty unique, but he's also an idiot. So Balgo, he gets introduced by being dangled from Osushi, who is a baby dragon, I think. I'm not really sure. And Nini and Noel, I don't know how to, Noel, decide to go help him because the old funny old man guy is like, yeah, you'll get achievement points from doing this quest. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, it just sounds so, like, the more I explain the story, the more I see just how average it is, you know? Think about it, like, you got magic, achievement points, another world, dragons, like, what kind of shows have that stuff in it? Isekai, right? I'm right? There's just simply not anything special about this movie. Like, don't get me wrong. Reiterating again, the character designs, amazing. The premise, front and reverse London, incredible. The dragons killing 72% of all the population of London. Wow, that's wow. But when it came to executing it, the whole thing into a movie, the content of the movie was just not the best thing to show. Like, nothing about the ending felt like an ending. There was zero emotion about anything. There was no satisfying conclusion. All I have are questions, and I've been talking about it being average, but the more I talk about it, like, now I'm just gonna rate it a 4. It's just bad. So yeah, watch my other videos, please.
This way again. 매일 매주繰り返し I was alone instead. So gotta handle progress slowly. How much longer hurry?